This thing causes us to sin constantly. Yeah, I told you we're going back to basics tonight. I've preached this before. But are we following through? Are we doing something to change our lives? That's the question. Are we going to be a slave to righteousness, a slave to the sin, or are we going to be a slave to Jesus Christ? Meaning we're going to die out to our sin, we're going to become holy because we want more of God, and we're seeking after the true, ultimate power that created us. And that's hard at times. I know. I know it's hard. But it's also not that hard when you're continuing to ask God where He needs to go. You're continually praying. You're seeking after God's face. You're getting rid of some of the old habits. You're getting rid of some of the old things that cause you to sin. You're erasing it. It's gone. You're moving forward in the right direction. And it might not be an overnight thing. It might take some time to realize that there's some things that need to go. Right now, there's somebody thinking, well, you know what? That's harder than you think. Sure, it's tough. But I'm telling you from experience, I'm not just throwing this stuff out here to you guys saying, I'm all perfect, I did everything right, this is exactly how to do it. What I'm telling you is it was a process in my life, but I realized that I needed to head towards that process. I needed to start the game. I needed to get in the car and head down the road that God had for me. You guys are looking at me like really strange. Is it making sense?
Yeah.
Okay. What's not making sense? It's got to stay on subject and on topic. Is there anything that's not making any sense? Jenny, you're the one kind of looking at me like I've got two heads going on both sides.
I just think it's like there's always going to be like somebody that you lose you when you're having that bad thought against him, like, or I mean, are you talking about like that? Or
yes.
Like you're going to have a negative thought about somebody, or you're going to dislike something that somebody does, or...
Process. It's a process. I'm going to answer your question in this way, okay? It's a great question. When I was of the world, I've talked about this before, you're talking about like going down the road and somebody pulling out in front of you, and you're driving down the road and you got road rage, and all you want to do is, you got this thing, the pastor finger, but it was the other finger, And you're driving down the road, and somebody pulls
in your head too.
Oh, it was a secret? The secret's out.
Ruined it.
All right, so you're driving down the road. I'm going to see if I got the question right. You're driving down the road. Your first week of Christianity, you're driving down the road, and everything's great. I'm in love with Jesus. I'm in love with Jesus. Everything is so great. Oh, no! You stupid idiot! Right? That's what you're saying, right? You grow. A couple months down the road, you realize that you didn't get nowhere. Now you got some guy that hates your guts. You got Christian bumper stickers on your car. And you realize, oh my gosh, what kind of witness am I? So you realize that after the next month, you're praying, oh God, don't let me have road rage anymore. I don't want any road rage. Oh God, please take the road rage away. Then you're driving down the road, oh, I love my Jesus. Oh, I love my... It's going on YouTube, Jerry. Oh, I love my Jesus. And you're realizing, you know what, he's going to pull out in front of me and something's going to happen today. But you know what, I got my flesh under control. I'm not going to flip him off. I'm going to realize and go, oh, you really made me mad, but I'm okay. It's a process.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay. Now, Jenny, it's the same thing.
I rode with you, Dad.
When Paul Wood was here, he used to talk about all the time about how bad he was to where he is now. F word constantly out of his mouth, bad language out of his mouth. He realized that it was getting him nowhere. When he was on his job, he realized that in order to become closer to God, that some things needed to change. He would go down the road and pray. Literally turn on some Christian music. Do something that was going to change the circumstances. He knew he had a problem with his anger. He worked on his anger. That's stepping closer to God. Getting rid of yesterday and moving closer today. Realizing that you've got a truck full of Christian bumper stickers and that you can't flip off the person that's next to you anymore, and you've got to realize that some things have got to change in your life. And your anger's got to go. It's the toughest thing. That's one of the steps that I'm talking about tonight. But you've got to do that with everything. Whatever is causing you to sin, you've got to realize that it's something in your life that needs to change. And you need to work towards making the change. Looking at yourself in the mirror. I got a problem. I don't know. I've got a problem with yelling into the microphone. I got to realize that I'm not going to yell into the microphone the next weekend. And I'm working towards it. I'm using stupid examples, but it's a process. Yes?
I agree with Jenny.
It's hard.
Because,
tough?
yeah, but listen, okay,
I'm
right?
listening.
You always say that there's no such thing as a perfect Christian,
Yes.
right? But now you're saying like, and I'm not like trying to put you on the spot or nothing.
Oh, too late. I'm done.
But you always say there's no such thing as a perfect Christian, but then you're saying you're not supposed to be a sinner. But how can you not be a perfect Christian if you're not? You know what I'm saying? Confusing myself.
Go ahead, Dan. Help, Dan.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
I'm sorry.
There's two different types of sin. Basically, well, sin's sin, of course.
Right.
But you can't, the Bible speaks of living in sin and then just a sin. Now, you can't go on living in sin, and that just won't work. When you live in sin, that means keep sinning the same sins, and don't get out of that sin. That is iniquity. And the iniquitous will not be saved and go to heaven. And so if you are saved, you will, when you sin, one of the ways you know you are saved is because you feel guilty. Right, God convicts you. And then when you sin, even the normal little sins, like you got to get out of the living in sin part. Everybody does to start with. That's the first step. The bad things you do, you've got to get out of it. You've got to pray and ask the Lord and do everything you can. But once you get beyond that step, the minor sins, then you confess immediately your sin to Jesus, and He is righteous and just to forgive us our sin, because He's the only one that can forgive us, because He died on the cross for us to take our sin away. And that's how it all works.
Make sense?
Yeah, but like, what if you sin? I'm getting really into this.
No, you're not. You're fine.
Okay, like, what if you sin? Like, okay, you know how like Catholic religion, like, you can go out and drink and smoke and blah blah blah, and then you go and you're like, God, please forgive me, and you're forgiven. You go into the like little podium thing, and you know what I'm saying?
All right. All right. Only broken chains. Here we go. Ready? Follow me.
Me?
No. Just stay where you're at. I'm at Broken Chains Church. Wow, I can't wait to see it. We're going to worship the Lord tonight. It's going to be wonderful. It's the greatest thing on earth. I can't believe that I'm here. I'm so excited. I'm going to worship. I know I messed up all week, but I'm here to worship Jesus. I have an altar call. You're supposed to come to the altar. We need to get rid of sin. And you come to the altar, and you get down, and you pray, and you say, Lord, I messed up again. I am so sorry, Lord God. And I'm not in any way making fun of this. I'm being serious, okay? I'm so sorry, Lord. I'm so sorry. I really need forgiveness. I need my chains broken. I need things to break off of my life. And I know, Lord God, that you're there and you care. And I know that there's some things that need to change. You get up. Next week, only a Broken Chains Church I know. Ready? I can't wait to be here. Things are great. Things are great. Wow, I'm here to worship Jesus. Woo! Yeah, Nick's going to get up. He's going to rock us out. Oh, now I lost my breath. The altar call happens. You come up. You're repenting of the same sin. Nothing changed. You're in a circle. You're continuing to do the same thing over and over. It's a revolving door.
But what if you're working really, like, okay, let's say I had a drinking problem, which I don't, but let's just say I did.
You're killing me.
I'm so sorry. But let's say I had a drinking problem.
You have a drinking problem.
Which I don't, but let's just say.
I had to say it. You told me to say it.
Okay, so I come up and I'm like, we need to pray that my alcoholism needs to go away and God will take care of it. Okay? But then I drink that weekend. And I'm like I really do feel sorry. Like, I try to tell my friends, no, there's peer pressure. I'm sorry, please take, you know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't that be like...
You're forgiven, but you're still stuck in the same sin. You're going around the same merry-go-round.
Right, but okay, so let's say I died. But I asked God to forgive me.
Oh my gosh, Angie.